Hey guys, Fake Rooster here. First and foremost, I want to apologise a bit for my voice. I'm not very well at the moment, but I did want to make a quick video just on the Tactical Conquest Liquidator event that Battlefield just added to 2042. Now the game mode itself that comes with it is Domination. There's no two ways about it, it's straightforward domination. It was a little disappointing not to have this game mode at launch, although the same could be said about a lot of the modes with Battlefield 2042. It's not a unique new game mode, it is simply domination but with slightly smaller teams. Now what I will say about the mode is that it can be really fun, especially if you're working with a team that actually works well. As it is 8v8, the role that teamwork and team movement plays is a little bit more significant here than in other game modes, which is kind of cool. I found that in most games that we won, which was by splitting into two squads, basically a squad on each objective, and then reacting as need be if the enemy got a flank off, and having one squad defend. What is really unique about this mode is that you can only have one of each specialist per squad, which kind of creates an interesting dynamic. I think to really see an impact, it would have been interesting if it had been one type of each specialist per team, and then we could maybe highlight some of the ways that specialists work or don't work together, which could have been kind of cool. And it's kind of an unusual choice, I think, to have only one I mean, it's good that we're not getting the spam of one specialist. It makes the support players like Falk and Angel really important. You need to have at least one of those players in a squad, otherwise you'll struggle as well. I basically played Falk the whole time, just to keep people up. And if you can keep your guys up on the point, then it's fairly easy to sit and defend. Now, the spawns, however, unlike Call of Duty, and I know this has been the case for Domination before for Battlefield, the spawns do not flip. Now what that means, and it happened I would say maybe once in the 5 or so rounds I played yesterday, but what can happen is your team has all the points, you can sit and camp the spawn, and that's it, and you win. There's a few posts on Reddit about this as well, that a few people in their games found that as a team dominated and had all the points, they would just sit and camp, which is kind of a problem. But to be honest, you know, it is kind of fun to have domination in. I maybe would have liked to have seen the 16v16 be the first one they released rather than the 8v8, but it's kind of interesting, can be really fun. That's not the problem with this. The problem with this event is 4 skins. We're getting 4 skins in this event, and every single one of the cool skins and camos and vehicles that you see in the trailer are locked behind a paywall. Now this is really disappointing for me. It would be acceptable more if this was a free-to-play title. It almost has that mentality of, you know, a free-to-play game where you can charge for cosmetics, fine. But for a full $60 release and $60 plus release, you've got to remember people did buy the Ultimate Edition of this game. Which is really kind of disappointing and really a shame, I think. I understand that it is the industry practice to put things behind paywalls, but not the whole event, not everything, you know? So you can get 4 cosmetics, which is a player card, a skin, a tank skin, and something else I can't remember off the top of my head. And you get those by earning ribbons, so your combat, wingman, that sort of thing, ribbons. And as I say, I understand wanting to sell cosmetics as it is the industry standard, but not putting all of the cool skins in the store and not being able to unlock any of the masks or outfits or anything. The other problem that it has, which I guess is minor in comparison, is it's another example of the lore being entirely pointless, because no one is the liquidators. You know, the game mode isn't no-pats versus liquidators, it is everyone's still no-pat v no-pat because of some reason. I think they could have done some interesting things here, you know. I think, you know, maybe add the liquidators as the AI in Hazard Zone in a special Hazard Zone map or something, as a way of saying, hey, we haven't forgotten about this mode. Make them the enemy in that. Have a co-op event versus increasingly difficult waves of liquidators coming against your no-pat team. Do you know, you could have the domination mode by all means, but have other things in and sort of unify the different game modes, and Hazard Zone in particular, do you know? I don't think I've played 5 minutes of Hazard Zone, but if they released something with the event that was to do with Hazard Zone, I probably would be more interested in playing it and just seeing. They could have introduced an entirely new game mode, like Halo Infinite does, and I think Halo Infinite is a good comparison here. Even though Halo Infinite is free to play, it does have paid elements, and there's the whole sort of mini battle passes that you get as a mid-season event. You unlock that by playing the game, and you can unlock the armors, the cores, the skins, whatever it is, mostly by playing. I would say if they were going to, they've got to uphold the monetization side of the game, sure. If we could have got 75% of the skins available via progression in this paid-for game, I would have been much happier than 4 skins and all the cool stuff behind the paywall. The other thing as well is someone did some calculations, you're looking at $90+ minimum to get every single one of the skins. That is crazy for a game that's, the way that it is. It's insulting a little bit, and I know it's a very minor event, it's not a huge deal compared to some of the other things, but for me this almost feels like the final straw. I mean, we as a community are thirsting for content, the game's starting to get to a good place in general as a build. We need content, we need to fill that out, and the content drops and drips all the way through are just a bit too lacking, They also had to pull this event after about an hour because the ribbons weren't tracking properly, and it's just every time I see a glimmer of a game here, it feels like it's getting pulled away. I mean, paywalls is just the wrong move, especially with the community attitude to the game as it is and its continued development. I don't want to keep making negative videos because at its core I like the gunplay of this game now, but this kind of keeps happening. I just wanted to create a little short video. I didn't want it to turn into a rant, but I did want to talk a little bit about my feeling and some of the community's feeling about this game mode. I will try to cover the game, but you might see the videos from Battlefield a little less, from 2042 in particular, in the future. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this a bit of an overreaction? Do you think it's okay that a $60+ game is adding even more monetization to it? That event doesn't mean anything, that they created all this hype, Are you enjoying the game mode? I mean, at its core, it is fun having domination in the game. Small scale domination is kind of fun. So, I mean, that's not really my problem with this event. My problem is the sort of monetization side of it. But yeah, that's about it for me today. Thanks very much for watching. Give me a like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of Battlefield and other things in the future as well. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.